Senator Perdue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, folks, for being here this morning. Having lived outside the United States, I've witnessed the benefits of what you guys do, and I want to applaud what you do, and especially the Operation CARE being based in Georgia. I'm very proud, Mr. Ray, that you're here. Dr. Mercier, I have just a couple of questions about, you know, from the business sector and a business perspective, you know, your recommendations about increasing efficiency. How would you see these reforms, or what reforms and what benefits could those reforms bring to the U.S. agriculture business, and how can that help provide for the needs that we're trying to meet in the programs that you guys are representing? Talk about our port systems and national security, as well as the shipping. As part of that, my observation is that one of the problems we have in these host countries that we're trying to ship to is infrastructure. Our state exports a lot of poultry, and one of the problems you can get it to their ports. Once to the port, it's very difficult to distribute within the country. So protein, fat, sugar, you know, those things are in high demand there. Can you just speak to some of those issues as we look at this?
Yeah, I think what you're getting at goes far beyond what international food aid really provides, and that's a broader international ag development effort. And I see sort of food aid as being the starting point. You have a region of a country where there's a drought or a civil conflict where people just don't have enough food, and you try to figure out what is the optimal response for meeting that emergency need, but also think beyond that to some extent as to how do you help that population transition into being more self-sufficient, building up the infrastructure. So one of the things that I think is an important development in recent years is the recognition that you need to try to build resiliency in those local populations. And so you need to have a combination of instruments and programs that help them do that. Part of that is making sure they have enough food when they're really hungry, and that's largely a food aid issue. But beyond that, it's international development. It's helping them get seed. It's helping them build roads. Helping it, as in the case of the poultry exports, build capacity at the ports so they can have some cold storage, so they can actually utilize U.S. or other sources of protein. So it's a combination, and there are a number of institutions within USAID, not just the Office of Food for Peace, but also the Bureau of Food Security, who are focusing on making these kinds of opportunities available to these folks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.